Well, hello. I know it's been a while. Apologies. But I'm back. And I was prompted to do a video today when Argentina announced that they were going to host the Springboks in London. Now, before I go further, for those on TikTok, this video is going to shut down within 60 seconds. I had to do it because I've only got two hands. So when it does, mid-sentence, somewhere along the line, go to the description and the full YouTube video will be there because I'm live there at the moment. But yes, we've got tests against Italy, 2, Georgia, and 2 against Australia, 1 against Argentina. So where are we going to host them? We know where we're playing our other matches: Auckland, Wellington against the All Blacks, and like I said, London against Argentina. And we need to decide now. But who decides? And I hear Rassie does. So it makes sense that our... Now that's interesting. My TikTok video that I made is now playing back at me. Let me just move that on, and we'll get back to that later. You know, teething issues. You've got to learn these technical things if you want to go live in 2 places. Anyway, first of all, Argentina, I would say, they're probably going to make way more money out of the Allianz Stadium in Twickenham, London. It's probably the best stadium in the world in terms of revenue, I would imagine. You're going to have a full stadium, more than likely. But they're almost giving away home ground advantage. So the only reason they would do that is if they're going to make tons of money out of it. And if a union, a big union, needs money, it probably is Argentina. So yeah, I'm sure when they contacted Rassie about it, he was like, absolutely, we don't have to go to Argentina, rather go to London. It's a home away from home, and we can make a few bucks, even if it is just having all the South Africans there. As we know, there are plenty. I would be shocked if at least half the stadium are not Springbok supporters. So that'll be fun. But where are we going to host our test matches? And from what I hear, they basically go to Rassie and say, how do you want to structure the season? Where are you going to have your training camps? Where do you want to stay? Which stadium suits you for the teams we're going to play? So at the end of the day, Rassie does run the show, and whatever's best for the Boks. That's what it comes down to, right? I mean, I'd like all the test matches just to be in Durban, but I realize that's ridiculous. You do have to spread it around. Now, based on last year's venues, we need to be realistic about where they can be this year. Now, we played the Italians twice on the 5th and the 12th of July, and then Georgia. So where will we host those? I would imagine that the 2 against Australia, those are going to be the 2 big games, and they will host those at big stadiums, Rugby Championship. Now, this is what I would like to see. Whether it'll happen or not is another story. But I would imagine a Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. Okay, I'm going to attempt it. Raberga. You're welcome to judge me on that. How did I do? The first test against Italy, and then the second one in Bloemfontein. I think they did a great job in hosting the Portugal test last year. From what I could see, it was a sold-out stadium. And for a test against Portugal, with effectively our B team, good effort by the people of the Free State, and I think they deserve another test. I doubt they're going to get an Australian test match. So, but, you know, Italy this weekend beat Wales, and fairly comfortably. About time that Wales gets challenged, possibly by Georgia, who are also coming here, when it comes to having a spot in the Six Nations. And even Welsh legends are saying, listen, it could be time to have some promotion relegation system. You know, these closed loops are not good for the growth of the game. Anyway, from what I understand, World Rugby is insisting that the big nations host some of the smaller nations. And I think that's a good move and it's fair. So that's why we're hosting Georgia. So second test, Bloemfontein, then Georgia. Nelspruit, great job against Argentina last year. They can host the Georgia game. Then, I know I'm biased, but I would love to go watch us play Australia. I know they're a sort of a second-tier team these days. Did I see the other day that Joe Schmidt has left? I should probably look that up. I did hear that. I don't know why, because he seemed to have been building the team. They beat England at Twickenham. Anyway, and then second test, Pretoria. Yes, both those stadiums did have tests against Ireland, which were huge and were unique in that they weren't rugby championship games, but they were still massive. But they weren't rugby championship games, so Durban, Pretoria for the two Aussie tests, 16th and 23rd of August. And then we go away, Auckland and Wellington against New Zealand. Could someone break the Auckland hoodoo? It's been way too long now that they've still not lost at Eden Park, and it's about time. I think we need to break that psychological thing for the rest of the world. And then I say we play Argentina in Cape Town when we come back from New Zealand on the 27th of September. So what do you think? Gqeberha, Bloemfontein, Nelspruit, Durban, Pretoria, Cape Town. I know, I've left out Joburg, but the people that live there can easily drive to Pretoria. Bloemfontein's not that far away. Even Nelspruit is an option. So why does there always have to be a game there? I mean, it's a bit of I never really liked going there. I mean, I only went when I had to go. It's not a great area. Yes, once you're in the stadium, it's a nice atmosphere, but still. Now, what will probably happen? They probably will get a game, and Durban will probably get Italy. Maybe Nelson Mandela Bay, and then Bloemfontein for Georgia, or vice versa. Maybe Gqeberha for Georgia and Bloemfontein, because Nelspruit got a big game last year. They might not get one. And then I can probably see Cape Town getting one of the Australia games with Pretoria or Emirates Airline Park, possibly. Loftus, Emirates Airline Park. And then whoever doesn't get the Australia game will get the Argentina game. That's more realistic, but I like spreading things around and being fair. So, yeah, that's my opinion on that. Who are we going to play on the end of your tour? They haven't announced that yet. I would love 2 tests against France. We haven't played them since the World Cup. I'd love to see Grant Williams show up Dupont. I know I'm being very optimistic, but I think Grant Williams could at least beat him in a 100-meter sprint, because that guy is blitzvinnig. But 2 tests against France would be amazing. Maybe one in Marseille and one in Paris, and then a test against Ireland. That would be fun. But what I would like to see, because normally the international window is 3 weeks. So we have everyone available for those games. Maybe we go a week early and we play. We make the decision to put something back and either play Portugal or possibly Spain. The way the Spanish team's been playing in sevens, I get it. That's not necessarily going to translate into their 15-man aside. But we play basically our second team. We have a game against Spain at like the Bernabeu or Atletico Madrid's home stadium. I mean, that would be cool. Or we play Portugal in Lisbon or Porto. It's Sporting Lisbon or Porto's home stadiums. And again, you're playing your second team. You hopefully selling out a stadium, creating revenue for those unions. I don't know. I would just like to see something like that, because as the 4-time World Cup winners, 2-time defending champions, we need to give a bit back. It's not just about us. Anyway, those are my opinions on that. Who would you like to see us play on the end of your tour? The more test matches, the better. I wish we had more home games than that. I couldn't care less if they scrapped all the rugby and the Springboks played every week. But I'm being a bit greedy. But yeah, that's that. Nice to be back, I suppose. Is there anything you'd like me to tackle? Remember, the true test is about test match rugby, major golf, and test match cricket. On that note, I didn't do anything on our cricket test match season. Apologies. And amazingly, we're now in the World Test Championship final. So, yeah. So hopefully we'll do something about that. Maybe we can win our first ever World Cup. And I'll take a World Test Championship, believe me, especially after last year's SA20, I've got that on the brain. The T20 World Cup final debacle, which, okay, I won't say it. Anyway, until next time, cheers.